Hey there, let me ask you something. Have you ever been invited to a classical music concert and your brain just went like, oh, that ooh music? No way. I don't get it. They just sing the same thing again and again for hours. So boring. Yeah? Well, you are not alone. Most people feel that way. But what if I told you a classical music concert is actually like a football match? Is he fallen on his head? No, 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 no. Just stay with me and you will get it. Imagine about someone who do not know anything about football. Well, difficult to find such person, but imagine. Now, if you make them sit down to watch a football match, after say 10 minutes, they will ask, why are these people chasing the ball? Well, funny question, right? But to enjoy the football, you need to know some basic things. Rules of the game, what goal is, whom to pass the ball to, when it is foul, what offside means, right? It has rules. If you know the rules, only then you will enjoy the match. So same is true with the classical music as well. It also has rules, it has structure, and once you understand that, you start enjoying it. So here is how the game works. Taal, the rhythmic cycle, is like field or football court. It sets the boundaries. It can be of different beats like 6, 8, 12, 14, 16, and it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. There is one more thing, sum. It is the first beat of the Taal cycle, and that is your goal post. You have to try to make a goal with every Taal cycle. Now the Raag is just like your ball. You can only play with that ball within the rules. It is made up of specific notes. For example, Raag Bhupali, it has 5 notes, Sa Re Ga Pa and Dha. You can't touch the ball with head or hands. You have to save the ball from the other players and you can't hit them. I mean, the players, right? So in the classical music, the other players are just like other notes which are not part of that raga and for whom you have to save the ball or the rag from these notes. So you can't hit those notes. These are the notes which you can't use in that raga while singing the raga. If you hit them, it will be like penalties. So for example, in Raag Bhoop, you can't sing ma and ni. It has only 5 notes. Sa, re, ga, pa, dha. Now, the improvisation part in the classical music, it's like a performance. The skills, like how the players play with different skills. So the artists play with the improvisation. When singer or musicians land perfectly on the sum, the first beat, so that is the goal post. So once the singer or the performer does that, after doing all the crazy steps of improvisation, the crowd claps, cheers, and say wah wah aha. It is just like when a player scores a brilliant goal. Well, a common complaint about classical music is why do they keep repeating the same lyrics? And half of the time, I don't even understand the words. Well, let me tell you one thing. In classical singing, there are two different languages which run parallelly. One is the language of lyrics or the words, and second is the language of music, which is melody, rhythm, improvisation, or the swars, the notes basically. So in the songs which we hear otherwise, the lyrics are generally fixed, and even the musical pieces are also fixed or pre-composed. Singer just has to reproduce all those musical pieces along with lyrics using his skills, expression and style. But in classical music, that's not how it goes. The bandish in Hindustani Khyal, Pallavi or Kritis in Carnatic music, which are just 2 to 4 lines, they are only pre-composed. Rest all is improvisation and which needs language of music. Now, when they are improvising, the focus is more on the musical language and less on the lyrical language. So, why the focus is either on lyrics or on the musical language? Because singing 2 languages parallelly is very difficult job. So yes, the artist may repeat the lyrics many times or they just sing like ooh. But what we have to see is that they are singing the same lyrics or the same phrase differently every time. Let me give you one demo. Now this is Raag Bhopali. So for example, we take 2 words, Shubha Ghadi. Now in Raag Bhopali, Shubha Ghadi, Shubha Ghadi, Shubha Ghadi, Shubha Ghadi, Shubha Ghadi, Shubha Ghadi. See, same words, but music is different. And this is how artists explore throughout the performance. They follow the rules of the rag and they play the 60-minute match. So another common complaint about classical music. So that same lyrics and all is okay, but classical music is too slow. Well, totally valid, but only in the beginning. Classical music concert, they often start slow, especially with the alaps. The alaps, they set the stage, like players are warming up, getting into the rhythm. So that portion is generally slow. But think of it like a marathon or a long test cricket match. No one goes all in swing starting from the beginning, right? Same goes with the concert. As the concert moves forward, things pick up. Faster improvisation, energetic dance, intricate rhythms. Everything will come. It's a journey. Just like a match, there are moments of calm, tension, and explosive excitement as well. When it comes to classical music, you might have heard terms like Carnatic from South India, Hindustani from North India, and within Hindustani, you have Dhrupad and Khyal. So, what are they? They are basically different styles in Indian classical music. Each of them has their own flavor, but the core principles, Raag, Taal, Sam, they remain same. Dhrupad, it is the oldest form, 500 year or maybe even older than that. It starts with slow alaps. It uses syllables like nom, tom, rira, rana, rana, nana, and then moves into compositions. Carnatic music, South Indian classical music, it uses compositions which are known as kritis, which are generally in the languages like Telugu, Sanskrit, and Tamil. Khyal is North Indian music, or it uses the North Indian languages like Hindi, Brijabhasha, sometimes even Punjabi as well. It focuses mainly on expressing the rag through slower alaps followed by faster composition. Now all these 3 styles, they differ in the instruments which they use. Dhrupad uses tanpura, and pakhavaj. Carnatic music uses tanpura, mridangam, violin, veena, and sometimes even khanjira, ghatam, and morsing. Khyal uses tabla, tanpura, harmonium, and sarangi. Now, if you are newly getting introduced to classical music, let's be realistic. You may not get to know everything at the first, right? Your first experience with classical music might be like tasting a spicy pani puri for the first time in your life, or a North Indian person who explores the Kerala food cooked in a coconut oil for the first time. You may like it too much, or it can turn out to be a cultural shock. So, I will tell you one incident. I had one colleague in my company. So when he first went to Punjab, he was Tamil, and he went to Punjab for the first time. He ordered the paratha from the menu card, and he was totally disappointed. Why? Because it nowhere resembled to the Malabar parotha which he was familiar with. Okay, later on, he started loving the aloo paratha as well, but for the first time, it was a shock for him. So, same thing with music as well. So, don't let your judgment overcome your experience. You need time to develop a taste for food or even for classical music. And once you develop the taste, believe me, it will take you all over. Now, as a beginner, a question comes where to start. So don't jump straight into deep end stuff. Something super intense like Pandit Bhimsen Joshi's Raag Miya Ki Mallar video. That may scare you off. Start with instrumental music. Sitar, santoor, violin, veena. No lyrics to distract you. Just sound, melody, and feel. That's great way to dip your toes in. To be honest, in the beginning, I found legendary singers like Ustad Amir Khan and Kishori Amonkar a bit too much and even boring. But now I see their genius. You don't gulp wine, right? You sip it, swirl, breathe, feel it. Classical music is just like that. The more you listen to, the more you understand. The more you understand, the more you enjoy. So give it a chance. I hope this video gave you a new perspective about classical music. Try to listening to something today. Maybe a short instrumental piece or a light vocal ragdari. Remember, keep listening, keep exploring, and keep singing. And if you're already familiar with classical music and someone reacts to it as aa music, then please do share this video with them. So, see you soon in the next video. Till then, bye bye.